part of victory is determining you're not going to be determined by your surroundings, by your situation, by your problem, by the ups and downs of the world. You're going to be determined by God and your salvation, which does not change. You can guarantee, can you have a guaranteed year of fruitfulness? Because fruitfulness is of God, and the answer is you can. You can guarantee that you're going to have a year of fruitfulness, because fruitfulness is not dependent on what goes on around you or any circumstance that's going to happen around you this year. And we're going to look at how. And we're going to go to a scripture here, which is another, you can take this as another scripture to apply for the year, and this is Psalm 37. And we're going to pretty much focus on just only one verse, but we're not there yet. We're going to start just before it. But this one verse, because it's the Bible, one verse of this is enough to change your life, change your course, and certainly your year. Now, the verse that I'm going to share with you is what the key is: simple and yet profound, and if you apply it, changes everything. But let's start before it. And on Sunday, we're going to continue on to another one linked to this. But here it is, Psalm 37. We start before the verse, but this is also crucial. Do not fret or worry because of evildoers. Don't be envious towards wrongdoers. They'll wither like the grass and fade like the green herb. First thing, you want a year of fruitfulness? God is saying, stop worrying. You can't be fruitful if you're worrying. Nobody who's worrying is fruitful while they're worrying. It says, be anxious for nothing. Not for some things, nothing, but in all things lift it up to God. He says, don't worry over evildoers. So what's this saying right now? It's not saying that you're not going to have evildoers around you. It's not saying you're not going to have problems. You will. There will be evil. There will be troubles. There will be problems, as there is always in this world. But that doesn't mean you have to let it mess you up. It's one thing to have troubles. It's another thing to be troubled by your troubles. If you let yourself be troubled by your troubles, you've got double trouble. It's true. If it's saying right here, there's a separation between the things that happen around you and what happens inside of you. And that's crucial. It's crucial for you. Because if you can get this, you get it down and practice it, you can have joy no matter what. You can have peace no matter what. You can have a victorious year no matter what's going on around you. See, the thing is, you are not your circumstance. You are not your situation, and you're not your trouble. Too often, we associate with whatever's going on around us becomes who we are and what we're doing. You say, how's your day? Oh, I'm having a bad day. Why? Because all these things are going wrong. That has nothing to do with how you're having a day. That has to do with how the world's having and how your circumstances are, but that has nothing to do with how you're doing unless you let it. You are not your problems. You are not your troubles. You are separate from them. You are, what did he say? You are in the world, but you are not of the world. That means you are maybe in a problem, but you're not of the problem. And the big mistake is we think we are of the problem. You're not of the problem. You are to the problem. You're not from the problem or of the problem. You're from God. You're to the problem. You are to bless the problem, but you are not of it. You don't have to be of it unless you let yourself. You can be in a situation of fear, but you don't have to be of fear. That's crucial that we make this distinction, which we often do not make. Cultivate this year a strong inner life that is separate from the world. And the more you do inner life, you will be inoculated against the outer things. See, the outer world, the situation, the world is always going up and down. There's some good news, bad news. It goes up and down. But that doesn't mean you should be going up and down. You should not be going up and down. You should only be going up in God. But you have to practice separateness from the world and separateness from the situation. How? By getting into the presence of God. The only way you can get separate from the circumstance is to get into the presence of God, because that's what's separate from the circumstance. So this year there are two realms. One realm, the outside you can't control. You can do some things, but you can't control it. Certainly not people, everybody. But the inner realm, you can control it, and you can guarantee what kind of year you'll have if you nurture your inner life with God. That is where the fruitfulness comes. The fruitfulness doesn't come on the outside. The fruitfulness comes from the inside. It goes out. Cultivate a rich inner life this year. Cultivate. Because the more you do a prayer life, time with God, the more you do, the more you will be able to withstand anything around you. That's what the Bible's talking about when it speaks about the peace that passes understanding. The joy that is what? Beyond speaking, unspeakable. That's what you can partake of every moment. Paul wrote in a prison cell, and here he is surrounded by a horrible situation. And he says, I've learned the secret of being content in any situation. No matter what. If I'm rich or if I'm poor, it doesn't matter. I'm content in all things. Now, he wrote that in a prison cell. Well, that is where we are to go. That's where God, part of victory is determining you're not going to be determined by your surroundings, by your situation, by your problem, by the ups and downs of the world. You're going to be determined by God and your salvation, which does not change. Now, that's just the opening. That's not the verse. But now I want to get to the verse for tonight to apply to the year, which is the key to fruitfulness. I'm going to start with just the first few words, not even the whole verse. Trust in the Lord. Notice the contrast. First it says, don't worry, don't fret, don't fear. Then it says, trust in the Lord. Don't fear, don't get all bent out of shape because of evildoers. So stop looking at them. But now it says, trust in the Lord. That's the first antidote right there. The antidote to fear is not trying not to be afraid. The antidote to fear is trusting the Lord. The antidote to worry and anxious is more and more trusting. The more you trust, the less you can fear. The more you trust in God, the less you can live in anxiety. It keeps on contrasting. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, bring it to God. Look to God. What are you looking at? You're looking at the evildoers, you're going to be filled with anxiety. Looking at the problems, anxiety. Looking at God, no anxiety. We think that the answer is getting to the problem where the fear is we want to get rid of the problem and then we won't be afraid, but that's not the answer. The antidote is faith, trust. The Lord is my shepherd, I will not fear. I shall not want, and I will fear no evil. Hi, I'm Jonathan Cahn, and I hope you were blessed with the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. Feel free to share your reactions with your comments and how you were blessed, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.